This is basically where I've been for the last 2 weeks, just stuck in my apartment, which is not really how I planned my retirement of slow travelling around the world. Anyway, let me tell you where I'm at, and I'll try not to get emotional, but as I go through, you'll understand why I'm not my usual perky self. Oh gosh, I smiled. So, so going back to the beginning, you know that I sold everything I owned in the UK to come travelling full time around the world. It's something I've always wanted to do. I always want to travel extensively and really immerse myself in different places. I love going. I loved going on holiday. Of course I did, but I never felt I got to see enough. So that's what I wanted to do. So I sold everything I owned: my house, my cars, my camper van, all my belongings, as you'll remember. So I don't own anything, and off I came. Now, when I came here, just before I came here, I got an injury in the gym, and it was like a pain in the side of my knee, on my right knee. So I guess it would have felt like a meniscus tear, and I tried to see my doctor about it, but after 2 months I couldn't get an appointment. And it's an injury, so I've had gym injuries before. I put my compression pad on, and I get on the plane, and I just manage it, try and keep it straight. I read everything to do with it. I pretty much know what to do, and not over-exercise it, and see how we go. So first I went to Chiang Mai. So I left the UK in the middle of September, and I went to Chiang Mai to the end of October. After the first couple of weeks of being in Chiang Mai, the right knee, where the original injury was, I started feeling severe pain in the joints along the bottom. And after, it wasn't very long, I didn't get very far around Chiang Mai, which is very disappointing. I couldn't really walk on it, I couldn't put any weight on it. And so I went to the hospital and had that seen to. Now, they diagnosed me with a meniscus tear, told me to keep my legs straight, not to exercise, and rest. And that's what I did. So I spent most of my time in Chiang Mai in my apartment and not going out, because I couldn't really not go anywhere. And it just seemed to get worse. And I kept going back for physio, and then just about, must have been like a week, it would have been just 10 days before I was due to leave Thailand, I went to see the specialist for my endophysio sort of assessment. And as I went in, she was horrified with how I was walking. I said to her, the pain around the knee is absolutely excruciating. And they sent me for an MRI scan and gave me crutches. And the crutches made such a difference, just keeping the weight off the knee. MRI scan showed a slight tear to the meniscus, but it wasn't massive. It actually thought I had a tear in the PCL at the back of my knee, and that there were signs of arthritis. So back to the hospital, and the doctor there drained my knee, gave me a shot of painkiller and local steroids, and then I got my own crutches, and basically I then left Thailand a few days later. It felt a little bit better with the painkiller in there, and I got to Malaysia. Anyway, I was getting around for the first couple of weeks, and I wasn't fast because I'm still feeling the niggle in my knee. And so I still was on my crutches most of the time, and I was doing all my exercises, and I was using the pool to do exercises, and I got from 2 crutches to 1 crutch, and a couple of days I was able to walk around with no crutches. But then the pain started again in the joints. But this time it also started in my left leg, and it was really painful in my left leg. I was like, So you think you've overdone it, don't you? That you think, oh, I've been walking around, I've just been, because that weight, that leg's been taking the weight. I thought perhaps it just taken the strain and it transferred. Anyway, that it just got, it was just like in the bottom of my knee, the top of my knee, and I couldn't bend it. It was worse than the original injury. It was so bad. Then I also started getting pain in my wrist and my joints going up to my fingers, that I couldn't bend my hand. I'm right-handed. And even to lift the hairbrush was becoming really painful. So I was like, so what I thought with that was, because I was leaning on these crutches and like pushing down on them like this all the time, plus pushing onto furniture all the time to move around. But I thought I'd sprained it. So I was trying, like I have a sprain thing for it, which I kept wrapped up. You've probably seen it on videos. And that's generally what I thought it was. And then I felt like, oh gosh, I feel like I'm getting an infection here. And my jaw started hurting. But anyway, to get to the point, 2 weeks ago, I just couldn't walk on both knees. I got up one morning and I was like, I can't put any weight on these knees. I was doing my exercises, I had both crutches, I'm getting around the apartment, eventually get up, get around the apartment on the 2 crutches, but it's very painful. So I'm like, okay, I need to rest. I obviously need to rest, so I can't go out and just rest. And then that was on, I think it was on a Sunday. And that got bad, and the hand got bad. And it got very painful, and I was taking a lot of painkillers, not over the top, still sticking to my routine. Now the problem here is getting aspirin, and you have to go and find the pharmacy that will sell you aspirin. You know from the UK what works for you, don't you? And pure paracetamol doesn't work for me. I usually have Anadine. So anyway, I did find some. I had no real. But I didn't find any of the painkillers that the hospital gave me did anything anyway. So anyway, I was looking up how to manage the pain, keep doing the exercises, straightening the knees, locking the knees. Oh, I was doing everything I could. I couldn't go down to the pool because I was like, with both the knees hurting and my hand hurting, how am I going to get down the ladder in the pool? I'm just not going to get myself, even if I fell in trying to get down, I'll never get up again. So I thought, oh, this is just not, it's not safe. And they're slippy around the pool as well, so it's not safe. So I can't go and do that. So I have to do them in my apartment. So I did do them. And then it just got really bad. And I didn't know, and then this pain in my jaw got worse and worse and worse. I couldn't move my mouth. And I thought perhaps it was because I was in so much pain, I was grinding my teeth or something. I don't know, but I was like, I couldn't work out if it was an ear infection or in my teeth. I couldn't work out before. I can't get to a dentist because I can't flip and move. And I literally could not move. And for 2 days, I've never known pain like it. Right, give me a minute. Okay. Sorry. Now, if I was in the UK, it would probably be at that point, I would have called one of my sons for help. Because it was that bad. But I've never known pain like it. Now, I don't usually cry. I'm a very strong person. I'm very upbeat. I'm very optimistic. But I have to tell you, this just did me in. It felt like somebody was trying to smash my joints in, like they were glass. Like it just was so painful. And yeah, I had to say, oh God, I hate to admit it. I had dark thoughts. I had really dark thoughts. That's not like me. That's not like me. Oh God, sorry. So, after a few days, it started to ease a bit. Now, during all this time, I'm having to order in my shopping, and I go and collect water from downstairs, and that's the only two places I ever go, to the lobby. And like just getting ready to go, I'd have to like, take all my painkillers, wait for them to kick in, get my crutches on, get all my compressor pads on, and get down there, pick things up. Oh, it's a real pain here as well, because you've got to keep scanning your phone, this code thing, to get in and out. Now the security guards know me. Why they can't just scan me in and out? Because obviously the Grab people are delivering to me, and I'm trying to talk to them. I've got to then find this thing anyhow. They don't. But the man in the shop downstairs is so good, because he knows it's difficult for me to. I can't lift the bottles of water to get them in my shopping bag. So he knows now. And when I go in, he just says how many bottles of water, and he puts them in my bag for me, puts it on my shoulder, and then I get my crutches back on, and off we go. So he's been very good to me. Anyway. So I've been managing, anyway, it started to get a bit better, but it was so painful. But this week, I should say, it made me rethink being here. I was really seriously thinking about leaving Malaysia. I was like, I just need to get myself better. So I was thinking of either going back to Thailand and going to the doctors there, or I actually even thought about going to India, and I spoke to a couple of, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, retreats for like natural healing, which I do know, I do believe in that. So I was like, because I can't travel like this. Everything is over. I can't go to South Korea like this and sit in. Well, it's not a great apartment I've got in South Korea. I would hate to be sat in there. And the other thing I've realised is, in my apartment, I don't have a balcony here. So I've had no fresh air for 2 weeks, because I can't get to the pool area at the moment. And but it's been a lesson to learn, isn't it? I need to make sure I've always got access to outdoor space. I need outdoor space. Anyhow, this week, the reason I haven't gone back yet was because I booked my medical screening at Prince Court here in Kuala Lumpur, and I booked it just before I came here, and that was the first appointment I could get. So I thought, well, let's see what they have to say when I'm there. They may have a solution, and I want to get it done anyway, because I wanted to check that my kidneys are still good, that all my bloods are good. They check some other things for you. I will do a separate video on medical screening at Prince Court, because there's many people out there making videos and saying how brilliant it is. It's a little bit misleading what people say. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying I found it a little bit misleading from other people's videos about what to really expect. So, but I'll do that in a separate video. Otherwise, we'll be here all day, and I will start crying again. But so I went there, and I did that. And it was a flipping long day. But I do have the markers for rheumatoid arthritis, which surprised me really. I thought it would be more the osteoarthritis, but they had some markers for that. And my iron levels had suddenly dropped a lot, because I was able to give them my NHS records so they could compare them. And they dropped a lot, and hence I'm teary all the time. And lack energy probably, because I could sleep for England. But the thing is, I can't sleep. That's the problem. That's not helping either. I'm tired all the time, but I can't sleep through the pain. So I get about half an hour at a time. So I probably sleep 3 hours a day. That doesn't help either. Anyhow, but so they referred me to a rheumatoid specialist. Is that rheumatoid specialist? Anyway, they sent me to a specialist. And I got to see them a few days later. Anyway, this doctor, this tiny little woman, has been amazing. I was there for 2 hours with her, and she went for everything. All my history, the pain from the beginning, the MRI scans that were done in Thailand. She did her own ultrasound on my knees. She showed me on both knees, like where the water is settling and or the liquid is settling, and where the damage is, and you know, my bones are fine. My bones are very good for my age, apparently. It's just some of the joints. She checked through the pain I was having here and in my hand, and in my wrist there is inflammation. She couldn't find anywhere it hurts the other times, but there is some in there. And my left knee, so the second knee, the one that got bad second, had a lot of fluid in it. She went through all the possibilities of what could cause this, because she said this is not a sports injury. She said something is attacking your body because everything is happening at the same time. And you know, because you do have to wonder why is everything going at the same time? You know, you think you're making logical. You know, you're trying to be logical because I'm not hypochondriac. You know, I don't know if this is something we've kind of learned as British people. It's because you can't get to see a doctor too easily in the UK, or especially to see a specialist at any time soon. You kind of don't want to waste their time because and it's a mission to get an appointment, isn't it? So you kind of build up this resilience to ever wanting to bother them because you just can't be bothered with the aggravation of trying to get through the receptionist to get to, well, now you got to you do it all online. I don't know if this builds up this thing that you don't ask for help when you should. And I know this crying is because of my low iron. I mean, I cry at everything. I've got to be so bored. I've watched everything on TV, and I'm crying at the blooming comedy shows. I just cry all day at the moment. Oh dear. Is painful. But in a nutshell, she thinks I have an autoimmune disease. But she has sent off, like we've done loads of blood tests, and she sent them all off to be checked. She said, I'm going to look for everything. She goes, but I think it's probably an autoimmune disease because the way it's just attacked all of a sudden, and that I don't have any symptoms for anything else it could be. But she is checking all that to make sure she gets it right. And then what she did is, because obviously I had my right knee drained in Thailand and I had the injection in there. So she drained my left knee. Oh my God, the amount of liquid came out. It came out clear, so it doesn't look like it's infected, which is good. And then she gave me an injection again, so painkiller and local steroid. Then I've been given steroid tablets to take. Now I'm not a big fan of steroids because I don't think many people are. And she said she wouldn't normally give them, but the steroids in the knees are so localized. She said, I need to give you something to get the inflammation down in your wrist and your hand and here. She said, because, and any more that might be floating around in your body somewhere, so that we don't get hit with another, blowout. So, I agreed to that. And she also has given me a course to take for autoimmune, what do you call it, I guess, like to depress it. And I said, but what? I said, and I did talk to her about that. I said, oh God, are you sure about that? Because what if it's not that? She said, I honestly can't see what else it could be. She said, but I am testing for everything else. She goes, but I think you need to start treatment for it. Now, you take the treatment once a week. And I haven't taken it yet because you only take it for one day. And I need to go and really do some shopping. So I thought I'll do it when I know I don't need to go anywhere. So yesterday was the drain, the thing. So I had everything drained. I had lots of blood taken again to have a test done, and I took my first steroids, and I didn't have to take any painkillers last night. No, I didn't sleep for like full 8 hours. But I think I slept for 4, and I woke up. So it doesn't hurt. I was like, oh my God, it stopped hurting. Can't believe it. No. I can still see a bit of swelling in places, and I can still feel it a little bit in my wrists and my knees, but like when I got up, I didn't have to, that dreadful crunching sound you hear, like glass breaking in your joints, wasn't there. It only took me 30 seconds to get out of bed instead of 5 minutes. Yeah. God, this is taking longer than I expected. I do apologise that I'm still emotional. As for the iron, so I have got iron supplements. I got them from the pharmacist, so she said they were the best ones to take, so keep taking them. But she thinks that once we sort out everything else, the iron will rectify itself. So she's not that worried about that at the moment. So I just have to put up with being tired and teary. But that will she thinks that will rectify itself. So, anyhow, I'm feeling good today. But I am. And I'm feeling now that I probably need to stay in Malaysia now, because I found a specialist that took the pain away properly. And let's find out what it is. When I did actually video call with a friend last weekend. Thank you, Sharon. She was, a lot of people say go back to the UK. She was like, don't come back to the UK. You're in the best place to find the doctor to help you. If you come back to the UK, this is going to be 6 months to a year before you even see a specialist, and you'll never get out of here. And I thought, yeah, she's right. Plus, I can't afford to go and rent in the UK for a year. I could stay with family, but I don't think they want me for a year. And that's how long it would take. So I think she's right. Stay here, or she said, stay here or Thailand and get it diagnosed and sorted. Yeah, it was. She's been a very good friend. Do you know what I have to say? In the last few years, I have never felt myself more tested. Since I made the decision to leave the UK and go travelling full time, I seem to have had obstacles put in my way all along. First, we couldn't sell the house. They kept falling through. We thought, okay, that's happening for a reason. We thought that was the kidneys, but it wasn't the kidneys. The kidneys turned out to be fine. We sell the house. I get here. I've got all these. This is all happening. I mean, it is as if someone just doesn't want me to travel the world. What is going on? And I feel like I'm fighting all the time to follow my dreams. And but I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to get over these obstacles. So, but I feel more hopeful than I have in the last couple of weeks. In the last few months now. But I'm not going to suddenly go running around Kuala Lumpur again, and I'm going to take my time. I've been off my feet for 2 weeks now, and I need to be more gentle. But I'm going to try and go and do my shopping today and do it myself. I can get a grab there and walk around the mall to get to the shop. It won't be over the top. But I'll be glad to get out. There's the only two places. Well, I've only been to the Prince's Court, in the whole of the 2 weeks. I'll be glad to just get out for a minute. And then I'm back at the hospital next week when all the test results will be back for everything that she sent off for. And hopefully we'll have some clear answers about what the heck is going on and who is trying to crush my bones. Life is just not easy. It's not. And, I know people say we should have stayed in the UK, you should have done this. Well, I didn't. I am where I am. Made my bed, I've got a lie in here, I guess. And that's why I haven't really been making great videos about the area or anything, because, life just keeps throwing me freaking lemons. But I'm feeling more hopeful now. Anyway, that's why you've not really been hearing from me properly for a while, and why I probably winced in a heck of a lot of pain in my last couple of videos. But I will get there. We'll get back on it, and hopefully we will still get to see some of Kuala Lumpur in the time we have left here. I might not get to see everything. Might not get to Malacca now. I might have to be more choosy. And God, and all the lists of things that people have sent me to do. Thank you all, our lovely local Malaysians, with all your advice on where to go, and I do take note, and I've been putting them all in my little book. So hopefully I will get to all these places. It just hasn't gone as we planned at all. God, I would have knocked off so many by now. I would have been to Brickfields, or have been on that theme park. But we will get there. I need to be mobile again. I need to be well, and I just need to be mobile. Anyway, I've rambled on for ages, but that's where I've been at. So in a couple of days, when I'm less teary, I shall do a video on what it's like to go and do your medical screening here in Kuala Lumpur. And I wrote it all down as I was going round. I didn't get a lot of video. I don't really like filming people in hospitals. I got a little bit, but I didn't get a lot. But I did write everything down as I was going round in like a diary form, so I can relay it to you. So I can tell you what it's really like. And I also think when we're watching videos from other people, they're used to a different healthcare system to us. We're used to the NHS in the UK. So maybe that's where the difference is, because there are some points in there where I would say the NHS do a better job. But we'll go through all that. But it certainly was not the experience I was expecting based on what other people have said. But anyway, I shall make that for you. And I don't have any more outings to show you, because I put up Chinatown while I was, basically lying here thinking that someone was crushing my bones, and it was actually one I'd done before this all happened, so I just didn't have anything else to put out. So sorry about that. But even though I look tearful and everything, we all know that's to do with the iron and the lack of sleep, I am feeling very optimistic, I am. And I will get through this. I'm not coming back to the UK. I will see the world. I will. Yeah, I will. I'll get there. Thanks for watching. And I will catch up with you all soon and let you know how it's all going. Sorry if it's been too long a video. Take care. See you all soon. Bye.